welcome back to Legal Line. We're here today with MilicentGreenPolivick, and she's answering questions about Social Security disability. Our next caller wants to know, I was awarded long-term disability and denied by the state on Social Security disability. Should I appeal?
Well, yes. The short answer is yes, I would absolutely appeal that. If you were denied at the state level, then you are still in the initial processes of your application. So you can be denied twice at the state, and then after that you appeal to what we call the hearing level, where your case is heard by an administrative law judge. So if you've been denied at the state, I absolutely recommend that if you believe you're disabled, you continue to appeal, and especially if you've been awarded long-term disability, that's great evidence that you are disabled in your Social Security claim as well. So absolutely continue to appeal as long as you believe that you are disabled.
Okay, it's a no till you ask, right?
Yes.
All right. I had a telephone hearing, but I could not hear the questions. I think the judge got impatient with me. Can I ask for an in-person?
This makes me very sad for you that you had a telephone hearing and that you had that experience. You are able to ask for an in-person hearing or a video hearing, so I absolutely do not ever recommend that you have a telephone hearing. It's not as personal. You want the judge to be able to see you and hear you well, so I really never recommend a telephone, but you're already in that circumstance where you've had one and it didn't go well and you couldn't hear. So the only thing you really are able to do is write a letter and ask the judge, or call the judge's office and ask them to have a second in-person hearing, but there's no guarantee of that, and the judge does not have to award you a second hearing. Again, this is another example of where if you had an advocate for you, an attorney at the hearing, they could have said, hey, we can't hear properly, my client's not answering because they can't hear, and we could have asked for an in-person hearing. So again, always consult with an attorney when you're at the hearing stage, because there are some serious consequences.
Okay. All right. Why did the judge ask how many vehicles I own and who lives with me?
Well, these questions that the judges ask at the start of the hearing, they go over basic things like, are you driving? How many vehicles do you have? Where do you live? Is it a house, an apartment? Is it a trailer? They're going to ask a lot of questions to get to what is your lifestyle and really what is your socioeconomic status. Are anybody providing you support? Are you being a caretaker for someone else? Do you have any children in the home, or is someone providing care for you? So all of that is relevant to your case, but the way that you answer those questions is important. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you have 4 or 5 cars. What matters is, are you able to drive? So some of these questions are not very important, but they are part of the process. And again, an attorney can help you with navigating what kind of responses are appropriate in your circumstances.
Okay. All right, and then our last one. If I'm taking care of a disabled grandchild, am I entitled to any benefits?
You may be entitled to some benefits. It depends on a couple of different factors. If the child is receiving SSI, then it's one of the important considerations is the financial status of the caregiver as well, whether or not you're going to be eligible. If you have any question about whether or not you may be eligible for caregiver benefits, the place to go is the local Social Security office, and they can take some questions from you and figure out if you are eligible, but it's really going to depend on your certain circumstances.
Okay, so it's always a good idea to reach out to you all with questions,
yes,
right?
Or the local Social Security office, which is either going to be Paducah, Mayfield, or Harrisburg for our area.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
If you would like to review this segment of Legal Line, log on to WPSDlocal6.com/legalline.